This is I can do better. And spoiler alert, it's already gonna be Joe being wrong yet again. But as you can see, I went 10 minutes into this video, skipped completely the first 1.5 minutes roughly because I hate his intro. It's just him making excuses for what he's gonna be doing. I'm gonna watch, talk like I always do. Don't know how long time this is gonna take because he is from the other perspective of the guy. And as you can see here, he's talking about this moment here. He's talking about this moment here. And let's get down to the analysis part of here. Then you have here and that little part there. So what? 11:55? Yeah, 11:55. That's when it changes over. I didn't even. Holy crap! That's insane. What are you doing? Why are you doing this to your images? To the video? No. To what's that? What 13:15? So 1 minute and 20 seconds, I guess. I can't stand looking at that. Holy crap. Even here you can see like he also edited even brighter compared to down here. I will show you as he goes, as he plays his own clip, because even here, as you can see, it's even brighter again. So I don't know what the fuck he's doing in the editing part, but he spent like 1 minute and 20 seconds analyzing this part, and then he shows the thing here and analyzing it one more time. Then he completely misses what the entire thing is, and he writes it off as skippable section on a tangent about server tick rates. And he's completely incorrect about it nonetheless, because he doesn't take into account that it's a client-sided server decision rather than a server-sided server decision. He completely ignores all the details about that, so I will skip this because he's just wrong. Blatantly, completely wrong. There are so many people saying explaining the difference between client-sided server decisions and server-sided server decisions. Listen to those people rather than Joe Blue trying to explain it using a music program. Because it's like, I have no idea. Just watching the first here because I thought this looked weird, and he said it's skippable. I was like, oh, you're giving me a headache, dude.
Someone used poltergeist, open the door from a distance to like let an armored in, but then how do you direct the armored to like go inside?
So you don't know the AI is reacting to sound, which means using a decoy can get the AI over to a certain position. Throwing a lantern can get the AI over to that position. Opening a door can get the AI over to that position. You have 1,300 plus hours in Hunt Showdown, and you still don't know the basics? Oh my god.
Oh.
That's a beetle.
This is sus as fuck.
What is sus? That he's hiding? That he could hear a beetle? That. What? What is sus? that you're looking at him through the wood, trying to figure out what your opportunity is. What is sus? You calling this sus is further evidence you don't know what you're talking about.
The dude's at the back there.
Yes. Not really surprising.
There's another dude there. Please, what the fuck? I went out there because I thought the reason why he hasn't moved is maybe because he's fucking trying to pilot that fucking beetle around.
Dude, you got dum-dum bullets in your pistol, and you're trying to shoot through something that would count as penetration. How dumb are you? What's your fetish with all these barrels? You're only blocking off your own pathway. If anything, you should use it to try and outsmart him. But you're using it as I don't know where to go. Like, what?
Shit, went the wrong way.
He did it there. You can see the tiny like split there are between.
Shit, went the wrong way.
You can see the tiny split between like the crop there is. I don't know why he does that, but look at the like brightness, and then you see it being turned all the way up. Like you cannot even see his camera properly anymore. If you look at the timer and the indicators, if you look at the text, it's unbearably like blurred compared to when Joe died down here. Like the camera looks better, the Superman and Wonder Woman looks better, the text here looks better than when Joe died further in.
Shit, went the wrong way.
You can see, you can even see that he, for some reason, can I get it far enough back here? Look at his camera. Like you can even see the brightness of the video is being cranked up. Look at the text, like how it looks, and then how it just gets more and more blurry. Like it looks unbearable, and I have no idea why he did that.
Dude's got Lightfoot, a whole bunch of things, so he's like probably won his last few games.
Oh really? You think? What is it you're confused about? There has not happened anything. What is it you're confused about? The trap? Makes sense. It's in front of the door. Blocks the enemy's path.
Watch this guy out, man. Let's see.
Oh, so you died to him, having absolutely no idea why he was sus, and then you're just like reaching far and wide.
I don't know why you're looking over there if you know there's a dude.
Well, he looks over there because there's a lightning. Makes sense to figure out where the bounty is. Duh.
On your right.
The dude on the right is inside, which is blocked up by the door that he cannot like do anything about, regardless. What's the problem?
This guy's got wall hacks, bro. I think he's got walls.
So he got wall hacks because he could see the lightning based on where the bouncy guy was. Then saying the guy is over here in this direction, and what, he knows how to play the game. That means he got wall hacks.
I think he'd be walling, maybe, or he did have a bounty. Maybe you saw where he was.
Oh, really?
Still, I don't know how you knew which way he was coming from.
Based on the lightning. Like, the only thing you're doing right now with this commentary here, you're exposing your extreme lag of knowledge about the game, and absolutely nothing else.
Alright, okay. It's a zombie, bro.
How did he miss the shot on the zombie? To me, it looked like he was on target, but where?
All of a sudden, this guy doesn't look like a very good shot, but he fucking banged me out, man.
No. Majority of the shots that was hitting in your fight with him was short shots on him. He missed a lot of shots.
Okay. That looked a little bit snappy.
Not at all.
That looks like cheating. Okay.
That looks like spectate. Like, even your argument in this point, at this point, made no sense during the live stream. Absolutely no sense. You were told he was even live streaming at that moment, and that's what you're taking down here. This is actual footage of that last part.
So let's just take it from the death. Like, I wasn't too suspicious about the death itself.
So you were not suspicious about the death, and yet you're reaching far and wide in order to what? Justify you dying? Make it make sense.
It was sort of like, you know, maybe he predicted which way I was going. Sort of hard to tell. But let's just watch this end engagement.
No, he could hear which way you were going based on the footsteps on the mod. You were not crouching. You were not doing shit like that. Based on the footstep on the mod and you reloading.
Just one more time. So I've already hit him with bleed rounds, I think. Oh no, not yet. Sorry. So I've hit him once and I've he's healed, and I'm going to back hit him with the bleed round. So now he's bleeding.
And so what? You're pushing him. He needs to be ready for a fight and not heal. If he can get you down and still end up dying, it's still his victory because you made a mistake.
Have a little look here, just to see how fast he actually snaps to me here. How's that not a hit, bro?
Unlucky. That's how. Shit happens. You just got unlucky.
A little more to the left. See that?
Yeah, what is it we should see?
It does seem like he instant snaps to me. Like, from that, I mean, sure, you know, it's hard to say for sure.
It's hard to say?
So he's bleeding. See, he starts turning.
No, he starts rotating around here. That's what he starts doing. He was getting at you from, getting ready to shoot you from that angle. You appeared here instead. You make noise. So from here, he needs to like correct his aim over to you instead. Common game knowledge, common game skill.
And the turn-in seems relatively smooth, but then it's like there. Oh no, the gun's still facing this way.
So you are unaware of what it is you are arguing by saying there. Oh no, it wasn't here.
Then it's like it just snaps. Not that frame, like there. Or is it there? The gun was pointing that way, and then it's like instant bang. Like it seemed pretty natural, going like around until he got to about this point. Then it was a sudden snap where it just seemed to just skip all the intermediary frames. So he's like,
Okay. Want to see how snappy it looked from his perspective at this moment? I'm not having sound on. This here is Mexi DI Twitch. He throws the dynamite. Joe just exploded the red barrel. He throws the dynamite. The fight starts. Joe hits him. He runs behind there. He heals. Joe then comes out shooting him. You'll see. See? Dynamite. Runs back. Joe shoots him through here. There we go. He runs over and heals. He picks that medkit instead. Hit Joe. Joe made him bleed. There we go. He goes over. That's the snap Joe complains about. Let's see this one more time. This here is the snap. I will slow it down to 0.25 speed. That's the snap. Past Joe. Like, what? You can see now it's normal speed because it removed. Then going down here. Slowing down, 0.75 speed. Joe hits him now. There we go. He's bleeding. That's a snap. Again. When he starts bleeding, I will slow down. There we go. Slow down 0.25. Joe got his perspective now. And you can see, like, nothing. He even corrects his aim from over here to over there. And over aims. Like, there's nothing snappy about this. Joe's just reaching because Joe died. He needs to justify it with cheats all the time, not reality. Back to Joe's video.
turn it, snap from like here to here. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, maybe.
Oh, you think? Maybe you're reading too much into it and you continue. Like, you have his live stream. You have his VOD. You can literally see whether or not there was a snap. And you only take that part down here to see whatever.
So now we go to the spectate where we're watching him. Let's just see what we see.
Sure. Let's see your dumbass be wrong, be hasty because you desperately need something, and still be wrong.
I don't know why you're looking over there if you know there's a dude on your right.
Oh, you didn't see the dark side? You didn't see the lightning? You didn't see any of that? Okay.
This guy's got wall hacks, bro. I think he's got walls. Okay, so this is a little bit of an odd little snap here. I've got wall hacks, bro. I think he's got walls. You see it there. He, like, somebody shoots there, and he's already ADS and locked onto it. Now you can say, oh well.
So he's now cheats are snapping to the ground. What drugs are you taking? Like, now you're fabricating some sort of cheat. So burden of proof is on your shoulders to give evidence that cheat exists, that it doesn't snap to any target, it doesn't snap to any player position, any body limb of the enemy characters. No. You need a cheat right this instant to justify your accusation of this moment that snaps to the ground in a vector position regarding to the enemy's vertical vertical position. That is what you need to prove right now if you want to argue this is a snap.
You know, here's the shot, so he's aiming that way. You can see there's a wall there, bro. There's really no reason to aim there, even if you know there's a person behind there.
Well, what you would do is ADS and flick. That's what you would do as a normal player. That's why you ADS in situations like this. ADS, flick. What you don't do is hip fire, flick, ADS. Hip fire, he appears, ADS, flick. That's what you don't do. That's why you're so horrible at the game also, because that is what you're doing. That's why you're failing so hard. Just saying.
Surely you'd always be aiming where a person would likely to appear from.
Well, yeah, you would surely be aiming there. Unless you are, like you, aiming at the ground majority of the time. And yet, when others does it, you're complaining and calling it a snap.
If you know someone's there, you're not going to just shoot through a wall. The fact that he...
Yes, you would shoot through a wall. If you want to be sure that you're hitting them and this long ammo here still have some penetration, you would shoot through a wall. Previously, with FMJ, you would shoot through a wall. If you knew they were there, as you're suggesting that you would do in this situation, you would know they are here, you would shoot through a wall. FMJ could previously, long ammo FMJ, Spitzer even, could previously penetrate like 3 metal plates and still a wooden wall. So yes, you would try and penetrate through the wall.
ADSs and goes straight towards where the gunshot's coming from. Makes me think that this guy's like snapping to the dude through the wall.
What? What in the actual insanity are you talking about? You know he's over there. He shot. That was fire sparks lighting up the area here. You know he's there. And because he chooses to ADS and aim at the ground in order to be ready to flick, you're suspecting walls?
With his aimbot, right? Watch this guy out, man. Let's see. I don't know why you're looking over there if you know there's a dude on your right.
You're not going to comment on it yourself? You're not going to say, okay, I'm a dumbass? That was the lightning. It showed the bounty guy. He had the bounty when he then died, so I'm a dumbass for not noticing it. You're not going to comment on it?
Why are you looking over there if you know there's a dude on your right? Like, is that the person right there?
You have literally shown this clip here 3-4 times. Yes, that is the person.
Look how it just lands on the dude.
What are you talking about? How it just lands on the dude? You do know this here is a ramp down, right? That is why there is a difference between here and down here. That is called alleviate. Isn't it called alleviation? Fuck the fancy word for it. Height difference. I don't give a fuck about the fancy word. You can see the pillar right here. 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 Holding up the side with other planks in order for the sides not to cave in. This here is a boat ramp. If you didn't know, Joe, that's also why there's a boat right there. It's also why, if we go back in your video, it's also why there's a boat right here It's a boat ramp. What he's doing, which your camera is in the way of, can we get it to... Give me 2 seconds. I'll try and find a better position for it. Something like this. You have the ramp going over. You have the ground here, I think it is. This like triangular part here. You have the different heights in it. What he's doing is literally just stepping down, stepping up. That's all he's doing.
I don't know why you're looking over there if you know there's a dude on your right. Why are you looking over there if you know there's a dude on your right? Like, is that the... Like, no over-aimed is perfect on there. Like, no, like, messing, but what's the weird thing? Look how it just lands on the dude. Like, no over-aimed is perfect on there. Like, no, like, messing, but what's the weird thing that I spot about this? He comes around here.
The weird thing you spot about this. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, so he sees where the thunderstorm is. Let's see. So he sees where the thunderstorm is, right? He goes into it. I don't know why you look. He sees where they are. There's a dude on...
You're literally saying that he sees where they are based on in-game mechanics, and you're still not correcting yourself, saying, "Okay, it wasn't wallhack."
You're right. And then ADS is there.
Yeah, obviously you would ADS up here because he's in this direction. The first thing you're gonna see is this floor-leveled plan that you're standing on, and those objects you can hide behind. That is what you know. You see without wall hacks when you come over. Obviously, you're gonna cover your angle from this position here. If he's standing up here, you need to cover that. Obviously.
What's weird about it is that he was ADSing in this direction perfectly, right?
Yes, because that is what comes to vision, to sight, line of sight. It comes into line of sight first, and this down here secondary. Like, it's literally how the game is designed within this compound here. It's not. There's nothing weird to it. If you go around a corner and you're aiming over here instead, you're leaving yourself exposed because you have had plenty of time to cover this side here, making sure the enemy is not there. The closer you come to the corner and exposing this opening here, you will cover this here. You will then cover this here. You will then cover this here. You will then cover this. He knew the lightning was over here, so he needs to focus on this area here. This here comes into into sight first, then this.
And that's exactly where the dude is. He's aimed on the actual angle.
Oh my god, he's aimed on the actual angle.
Where the thunderstorm is. Let's see. So he sees where the thunderstorm is, right? He goes into it.
Yeah, oh my god, he's aimed on the correct angle. Oh my god. Like, oh, he's focusing on the center of the lightning. This here is not where the bouncy is. This here is not where the bouncy is. This out here is not where the bouncy is. And for that matter, he should completely ignore it. He's not even remotely close to it. This middle here and down is where the bouncy is. Fucking hell, Joe. You're exposing your ignorance.
Coincidental, maybe.
Oh, that was too far.
What's weird about it is that he was ADSing in this direction perfectly, right? And that's exactly where the dude is. He's literally aimed on the actual angle that the person is. Coincidental, maybe.
Let's see how he aimed there. Be quiet, game. Let's slow it down. So he aims to this part here. And let's see here. Yeah, he aims to this part here. So if we take it from that light and down this like bright dark down here. So he aims down like this here. That's actually incorrect. So more like this. So a little to the right of those spots. If we're then going forward, stop doing that, sleep timer. Going forward, where is it you're saying it?
Actual angle that
the actual angle. You're now taking after he moved position and saying the actual angle. So from having this like side blocked now.
You're right. And then ADS is there.
And then to this entire opening. What you can argue is this here. Can I step back? No, that's... Be quiet. What you can argue is this point here, part here. He went there, and then as he goes down, it reveals. But even this, you can see the chain here. That's where he is. Then follow it up. Oh, too far. Too far again. Again, when he moves down, he's still on this like spot here. That spot there. And from there, he moves down. From here, he moves down. But the enemy is right there. Following the chains up. Going further on. Going further on. Like... Whatever. You're incorrect. I just proved it. Continue.
Is there exactly that the person is coincidental? Maybe.
No, correct aim based on the lightning, based on how things get into visibility. Correct aim.
So I've got wall hacks, bro. Okay, head tap, and then here's the shot there, and then the ADSs, and it's literally like his crosshair. You can see his crosshair is here, but then something else like pulls away from where the crosshair is, just a tiny little bit. That is like basically the exact angle where.
Show it. Don't just pause. Show it. Show it happens.
That like player probably is right. So this looks like the.
I don't care for probability. I care for actual facts. If you're gonna make an accusation, come with the facts. Don't come with probability. Yeah, but it's blurry, so it looks like you. That's why you're gonna go to jail, even if Manfred over there is the actual culprit. It still looks like you. So Manfred is walking free. He's a murderer, but you're looking like the man on the picture. Even though you have an alibi, it's still gonna be you. So you're going to jail for it. Give me the facts. I want to see the actual facts. Show it to me.
The aimbot is like moving towards where people are through walls.
That is how aimbot works. Aimbot doesn't care about walls. It's just gonna shoot them. That's how it works. Like, get to know the cheats before you start talking about what cheating looks like.
So I've got wall hacks, bro. I think it's got walls. Right, and then you can pretty much see like his crosshair was there, and all of a sudden it suctions like a magnet.
Okay, let's see that even closer. So there's a suction. Since Joe doesn't want to do... Again, I don't want a sleep timer. Since Joe doesn't want to do it... So his crosshair is here. Okay. With sound? Oh god, I'm sorry about that. Let's take it 75. You literally see the light, Joe! Of course you will aim over here. Christ, you're gonna be reaching far and wide.
Right, and then you can pretty much see like his crosshair was there, and all of a sudden it suctions like a magnet, like a suction.
No, what it does was aim over, like... What is this suction? That's horrible aiming, if anything.
To this exact point and angle, aiming at the ground, like there's no like why would you be aiming here? Like I don't know. Like look, this is where like the edge of the.
You have already talked about this. I don't see the point in doing it again. other than it being the illusory truth effect. You need to repeat false information for it to be sounding correct. Like illusory truth effect. I can look it up one more time for everyone. Shine bright like a no, sorry. Illusory truth effect is the tendency to believe false information to be correct after repeated exposure. You have already mentioned this moment here as being he's aimed to the ground. I don't understand why he's not all aiming up here. You know, but you want to lie, so you repeat it to make it sound more trustworthy. Even though you know what it is you're doing.
You know, around the corner is, so like if any kind of wall will be there, like this guy's aiming right down here, even if he's on the other side of the wall.
And we can see he's aiming down here, obviously.
Like this is pretty aiming close to the ground, like you're not really.
No, that is the ground. You have the ground following right here. So this is considered the ground because this is the close proximity. The further away you go, Joe, the ground will then be here. This is ground level at this distance.
Aiming on anybody, there's no real reason to aim at the wall.
There's a reason to aim in order to flick. That's what you would be doing as a normal player.
Like if anyone's coming, it's coming from this angle.
Yeah, that we agree on. That's why it's called a flick.
Like his crosshair was here, and then it suctions just a little bit more to the left, which will be
just a little bit more to the left and a little bit more to the right. What? So he's not allowed to do this here. Heck, I'm not allowed to use my mouse. Is that it? Because I have a clutch button. So you can see like going in a circle and then randomly holding the clutch button. Like, I'm not allowed to do that either.
Be the exact angle that the person's on, right? Let's go frame by frame here. So move it forward.
Frame by frame here and play at normal speed.
Forward. See, he sees a flash over there. Right, and then he turns. Hard right, very hard right. That's where the crosshair is. That's where he's looking. And then it snaps
over
immediately to this point here, which is basically where the dude
like he goes over.
Is.
It makes no sense, Joe, what you're talking about. And if you're claiming this here is where the dude most likely is, you need to prove that is where the guy most likely is. The brightness came from here. So the dude would most likely be here. Yes, that is how reality works. If he would be here, you would also argue that he's then going out here, which he didn't do.
Bro, I mean, he's got walls. I think he'd be walling, maybe. But we got 2 points here where it seems like, even though he has information where those people are, he seems to like magnetize to the exact angle that the person is on, like multiple times.
The angle? So not the person himself. Again, you need to prove such cheat exists. Right now, you're just fabricating bullshit in order to make sure you can point out this guy as being a cheater. You're not giving evidence of anything. All you're doing is giving your opinion and claims. You're not giving shit evidence in form of, see here, guys, this cheat actually exists. It does not aim to the opponents. It aims around the opponents when you ADS or click a hotkey. It aims below the opponent all the time when you click a hotkey. And you need to correct your aim every single time. That is what you would need to do. Right now, you're just claiming this is happening. You're not proving this is happening.
And it's very strange. It's not aimed straight in a way, like in the direction where they are. It's sort of like...
That's because he doesn't know where they are. So he would not need to aim directly at where they are. He knows they are in this general direction because of the shot, because of the flash of light from gunfire being used. That's what he knows. You're claiming a lot of fucking shit and adding nothing to it.
Like magnetizing it. It looks like a magnet the way it suctions to the
Again, repeating it 2 times after each other, and potentially, if anything, like 6 times within just this like little attempt here.
area. That's what it looks like.
No, it doesn't. That's not what it looks like.
All of a sudden, this guy doesn't look like a very good shot, but he fucking banged me out, man.
Why is your microphone duplicated? Never mind.
Okay. And that shot there looks real sus.
Not really. Not at all.
All of a sudden, this guy doesn't look like a very good shot, but he fucking banged me out, man.
The guy was crouching. What is it you're whining about, and why did you like increase the brightness?
Okay.
Like, what are you doing? Turn down the brightness, fuck's sake.
That looked a little bit snappy.
Oh, you're destroying the video.
If we just come back here and watch that bit again.
Yeah, can you turn down the brightness so we actually can see what is going on? Instead of you fabricating, like, crap to it, so you can claim even more crap?
You can see here, it almost looks like his aim there pulls up towards where the person is around this corner. So they like, they just move.
What? Yeah, you would need to cover this angle here. He was further out, then he moves to the left, and the angle would then go further in here, because that's how angles work when you're moving around something. Like, oh my god, dude. Good way of exposing yourself as an ignorant player.
Person is around this corner. So they like, they just move a little bit up there. Like they know, like they're fishing with their aimbot. They know.
It didn't move up, it moved to the side, Joe. Again, fabricating lies.
There's a person around the corner.
Yes, he knows there's a person around the corner. They're literally running on dirt. You can literally hear them run over here. Like, he knows he ran over there. Based on sound clues. Like, it's not rocket science.
And then that's the bit that looks like really sus there, where basically they're aim punched and they shoot in the air, and then they get.
Where they are aim punched, shooting in the air. You know, this thing with spectate, right? That's it. That's actually very funny. Let's take it one more time. Can we get it forward so we can see? I want... Here, perfect. You can see hitting the ceiling and blood. When I then go forward, you can see even more blood. You can still see the ceiling being hit. Guess what? This is a Spock's silencer. It have 1 bullet. Explain to me how spectate can be reliable as an argument with blood splatter down here at the bottom, and still a bullet hitting the ceiling. How can spectate... That's an honest question to you, Joe. How can spectate be reliable when there are 2 bullets instead of just 1? I want you to answer that. Oh, sorry.
And then that's the bit that looks like really sus there, where basically they're aim punched and they shoot in the air, and then they get the hit. And of
Not
course,
at all.
I was being called a fucking moron for saying that that's a proof of them cheating.
Because you are a moron. It's a 1-shot pistol. having 2 shots registered because it's a client-sided server, meaning the server itself needs to predict certain movements for what is happening and then correct the prediction based on what the client ends up doing.
And I'm pretty sure I don't know how you can get that shot if you're aim punched. Like in my head, I'm thinking, I didn't want to say it, but I thought the only way really, that you're going to be able to beat the aim punch is if you aim snap before you got aim punched, but the window before, like the trade window.
So you're telling me that in that insanely flash, like super flash superhero moment there, he activated a hotkey in order to snap and shoot with the aimbot. That is what you're telling me, that this guy is a superhuman capable of spotting the aim punch and then activate the cheat so fast that it looks fluently with 2 bullets instead on spectate. That's what you're telling me.
Where they're pulling out the weapon, they're taking the shot, is so small that the shot would have to be so fast to get there before the aim punch happened. But
exactly, like you're literally saying this guy here is a superhuman.
Then we're going to watch the clip now from their point of view, from their live stream that somebody clipped and brought it to my attention.
Oh, you could also just simply go to his live stream. Like, you don't need the clip specifically. I have the entire live stream here. That's how I went back to the fight you had with him. And I can go forward here. His camera is also annoyingly the same place as yours. So when we go here, normal speed, thank you. His camera is slightly less than yours. You can again see the thing down. You can see he aims here in order to correct there. You can see he goes up and down. Like, it's not rocket science what's happening here. What you're whining about, however, is over here. There we go. This here. Let me slow it down now. Oh, no, he needs to take the shot first. And here. Let's take it from here. So he goes over and sees the enemy. He sees that he's aiming at the knee of the enemy. A foot, perhaps. You have the blood splatter. You have nothing in the ceiling. 1 shot being hit on the enemy. Not 2 being registered on the server in spectate mode. You don't need the clip. You have the live stream. Like, it's not rocket science. He's not hiding his clips. Just like you, Joe, showing your recent broadcast, sorry. He's doing the exact same. You can just take his entire gameplay and look it through. This stream here, 17 minutes, 23 seconds in. It lasted 1 hour and 15 minutes, roughly.
Pull it back. So here we have the clip here.
Why are you manipulating the lighting? Stop doing that shit.
There's that little nudge there to where they are around the corner. That's what it looks like. And the aimbot pulling towards where the person is so they know that they're around the corner.
No, that's his DPI going further than he expected. Nothing else.
Corner and how far away. Because if they just got like small FOV, like a circle like this around here, they know that if they feel the pull.
Well, if they got in regards to an FOV circle, it would not be around here. It would be with this as the center, so it would be around here, around like this. Like making this the circle, more or less. This would be the center, not up here. And in that regard, it would be a silent aim. Because silent aim takes the circle and hits anything and everything inside of that circle. Silent aim aimbot takes the circle plus ignoring walls and all that shit. Like, that's how cheats works, Joe. You need to figure it out. You need to learn it before you start arguing it. Because right now you are adding a lot of fucking shit.
Cool. You know, they're within this range and they get an idea of how close the person actually is if they're within the...
So now the aimbot can also determine distance? What? Show it. Show evidence of an aimbot being able to determine distance.
FOV, innit?
Он что, его поднимает, что ли? Что, поднимаешь, что ли?
Let's see if Joe is going to be honest about this.
Он что, его поднимает, что ли? Что, поднимаешь, что ли? Он что, его поднимает, что ли? Что, поднимаешь?
Like, if you go frame by frame here,
Yeah.
as he pulls out starts beginning to pull out the sparks,
Yeah.
like he turns and looks and locks right.
That is because the enemy is moving out from his corner to engage in the fighting, so he needs to correct his aim from over here to here instead and follow the enemy over. That is common gameplay. There's nothing remotely close to this aim correction being cheat.
Right there. I'm pretty sure like he's turning and locking to the person.
I don't care how pretty sure you are. That's called speculation. It doesn't hold shit in court. It doesn't hold shit in regards to making accusations. That makes you uncertain of what you're saying, thus not possible to use it as evidence for shit, regardless, because you're not showing anything of related to cheats being possible to do what it is you're claiming.
And before the sparks has even come out, and he's not...
Aim correction. That is what a player would do. You would not pull out your weapon and stand still saying, oh, I'm ready now. Correct. That's not what you would do. Like, you're not a robot. You're able to, as a human, perform fluent actions. Oh my god.
even like aiming, he's just fucking firing it. Like all in one motion, no time to aim. Like,
yes, that's called quickfire. There are a lot of snipers in Call of Duty and games like that that does quick scoping. This here, because it's Ironside, is close to it, and you can do it slightly faster than you can do with quick scopes. But if you didn't know, Joe, quick scoping makes you more accurate. That's why it's invented. Oh my god, people in CSGO, in CS Source 1.6 even, have been doing this with AWPs up. Like, they have been quick scoping for such a long time. This here have become common.
and he literally gets this shot like microseconds before he gets aim punched.
And the problem is, if you're saying this here is cheat, you are admitting this guy here is a superhuman. This here is the real life version of Flash or Superman in regards to super speed. That is what you're saying if you say this here is cheats, because it's microseconds.
Он что, его поднимает, что ли? Что, подымаешь, что ли? Дурак, что ли?
That's super fast, like reactions there, man. I'm pretty sure this is that this guy's using an aimbot. Then we have
Then give us evidence of an aimbot that can actually perform this. Don't just claim that you're pretty sure this is aimbot. Well, technically you say you're pretty sure, but claim is an aimbot. Prove this here can be done with an aimbot. I don't care about your opinion. I don't care about your claims. I want the actual evidence of this being possible using an aimbot. Specifically that part you're talking about, not just something overall related to it. No, specifically that.
we had like we basically got three examples of
Of absolutely nothing.
potentially using an aimbot to fish for where the location of people are.
Well, no. If you actually look at it, Joe, if you actually take it and analyze what is happening, you have here, as he goes around the corner, you have him actually showing you that he is not 100% comfortable with his DPI. He's showing it for you. There. Don't. And those like small shakes. You can literally see that he's not super comfortable with the DPI. I would reckon this DPI is roughly 150 to 200 too high for him. Let's go forward and listen to your crab again.
What looked like snappy aimbot aim. The one under, like previously where he shot from up here, looked a bit snappy, and then this shot here.
No, the one he did up here looked like him stepping down and then back up and then just lifting the aim a little bit. Nothing else. Stop lying.
Here that he finished him off with also looked a bit snappy.
No,
Now,
it didn't.
I also think that this is pretty good evidence to, sort of get the tinfoil hat on here, how potentially death cams and spectate can be used to hide cheaters.
So what you're saying is that game developers are intentionally doing this here to spectate mode, and that should then be an argument in correlation to developers enabling and admitting, so to say, admitting they allow cheats by saying spectate is buggy. Okay.
Especially with low tick rate servers that don't update frequently enough. Let me try and get an example of how to explain this. Okay, so I'm just gonna.
So you're gonna try and get an example of how to explain this, and you're gonna explain it yourself, rather than actually finding someone that explains it properly. For example, there's someone here, the War Owl. Huge slap out to his video here, because he actually does know what tick rate is, and he does explain it properly. I recommend you listening to Joe's version, but it's long, and he's wrong on it. I will let you hear this one here.
To understand all this stuff, we first have to understand what tick rate is. Put simply, tick rate is the number of times per second that the game state is updated.
Mhm.
This is called the game loop. Input is processed, calculations are done, and the new game state is sent out. The game state is all the information of what is going on in the game, where your player is, where the other players are, where your player's looking, everything. It's a snapshot of the game. If a server has a tick rate of 64, that means the game state is updated 64 times a second or once every 16 milliseconds. This is what happens when you don't have a tick rate. See, Bethesda don't know how to program good. They tied the physics engine to the frame rate and then just locked the frame rate. It's a much better practice to tie any game loop to time, because time is a constant. Well, it's not, but it's close enough. Counter-Strike is a multiplayer game that uses the client-server architecture. The
Client-server architecture, client-sided decisions, what I called it. It's not completely functional for PvP. And he's also explaining that.
Is your computer. Every player has their own computer. They connect to a server where the game state is kept. What you see on your computer is not the same as the game state, but it tries to be as close as possible so the game feels good. It also lies to you, but more on that later. When you do something in the game, like click to shoot, that information is sent to the server. The server then updates the game state and sends out the update to every other client. So why 128 tick? Bigger number, better. Everybody knows that, but at a certain point, the betterness of bigger number isn't as better as something called diminishing returns. So where's the sweet spot? That sweet spot in Global Offensive is 128 tick. However, Valve decided to run the matchmaking servers at 64 tick. Their reasoning was that a lot of Counter-Strike players have crappy PCs and internet connections, and that 128 tick would actually negatively impact their experience. Plus, it costs twice as much to run. We had a scenario where competitive Counter-Strike was played at 128 tick and casual at 64 tick. This is not good. The game behaves differently depending on the tick rate. It feels different. It's better if everybody played at the same tick rate under the same game rules. But Mr. War Owl, I hear you say, that's because the Valve servers are lower quality. The tick rate isn't important. It's true that the servers are lower quality, but it's also true that tick rate is significant to the gameplay experience. Anyone telling you otherwise is wrong. I'm adding this segment into the video. As I'm rendering this, Nato Sphinx uploaded a video where pro player Robs was able to tell the difference between 64 tick and 128 tick 100% of the time just by moving around. So checkmate, atheists. And that brings us to Counter-Strike 2, where Valve has unveiled a new technology they call subtick, which aims to make 64-tick servers good enough. So what is subtick? Every time you perform an input, such as clicking to shoot an enemy, that input is time-stamped, so that when it's sent to the server and the server updates the game state, it will have a very accurate idea of when that input happened. The server still has a tick rate. It's not tickless like some people were saying. That makes no sense. It just remembers where you were aiming at the exact moment you clicked, instead of tying all of that to a server tick like it did in Global Offensive.
So as you can get the idea of, client-sided servers are trying to predict what will happen, and only when you actually have done it, it will send the information to the server, as you showed here. Can I get it to show? Here. Send it to the server and then change the game state, sending it all back. Joe?
Pull up an image here from Serato Studio. Because I'm a musician, I'll probably explain this better if in a musical context with a picture. So imagine.
I don't care about musical context. That is completely irrelevant. It is not music. It is a game. And you're still going to explain it incorrectly.
Imagine this is the server, right? Imagine this is the server. These are all the events, all the things that happen on the server. Say each one of these blocks here is a tick, is a server.
No, they're not. If you should say anything, these blocks are a tick. This here are the actions that is done. Already now, you're completely incorrect in regards to what is happening.
tick, right? Every time, let's just imagine there's an invisible line that goes across here, like when you press play, a line will play everything that happens. Imagine each one of these lines is a tick on the server, that every time it goes across this, it updates to find what's happening at that particular point. So here you can find there's a kick happening here, there's another kick, there's a hi-hat, right? And you can see, and then
These here are not the ticks, these here are the ticks. These here are the actions within one tick. These here are not the ticks. These are the actions, Joe, if you want to represent it like that. This here is the time, as you said, when you click play, it goes over here. That's why these here are the ticks. Like,
this
seriously.
tick is, oh, nothing happens here. Then the next tick, oh, there's a hi-hat there, and so on and so forth, right? Every time it updates. So imagine that you don't have all of these bars as information. Imagine that this is live, right? It's what everything happens live on the server, right? In real time.
Why did you mention that we should imagine you don't, for example, have this line here? Like, you don't have all the lines. That doesn't happen on a tick. It never happens on a tick-related server. The ticks will always be there. Always. You don't lose ticks. They are literally the update for the server. How often the server update the game states.
But the server doesn't update this frequently to get the perfect image of what actually happens.
Yes, it does. If it have 64 ticks, it updates 64 times. 128 ticks, 128 updates per time, per second, I think it was.
Happens. Now, imagine this here is this guy's gunshot, right? Imagine that this is this guy's gunshot. And
that's not how it works. This would be right click, this would be left click, if anything. Or this would be right click, this would be left click, because right click does ADS, left click does fire. So for some reason, you would maybe make the fire be higher value.
And then this is the person's aim punch, right? Imagine that this is the aim punch. Now imagine.
Again, that wouldn't make sense because they're not happening like that on different ticks. It's a client-sided server decision. Meaning, the server is attempting to predict what is happening and then send the correction out of what really happened to all the clients. He didn't get shot. In fact, what looked like happening on Mexi, what looked like happening was they shot at the same time. Yeah, but then you're arguing coincidence. No, I'm arguing possibility. There's a low possibility of it happening, but it still can happen. It is still possible. What you saw on spectate is the server correcting the game state in sense of what you need to see. What Mexi did was override the game saying, I actually did hit him, fix that. For you, it said he hit him, but he got aim punched, so he also hit the roof. That's why you got 2 bullets instead of just 1.
Imagine that two spaces don't get updated. Say this.
They do always get updated. If they don't get updated, it's because you are having packet loss. So it's not the server not updating, it's your game not updating. That's called packet loss and has absolutely nothing to do with tick rate.
This doesn't get these two don't get updated. This gets updated. These two don't get updated.
Package loss. The server will update regardless. That's the tick rate of it. What you're mixing in together now are 2 completely different subjects. You're proving you don't know what it is you're talking about. The server doesn't care whether or not your internet connection speed will update. The server will continue. The server runs. I don't know if Hunt is 48, 64, 128, 126, 128 ticks per second. I don't know what Hunt are running, but it's too low to be 64. But it's too low to begin with, and they will always update at that those intervals, 64 per second, 128 per second, whatever it might be. They will always update. You're not gonna miss out on an update, and if you do, it's package loss, thus your connection, and not the tick.
Right, so if we go like to here, and a tick happens here, sees nothing happened, and then it goes to the next thing, there's no tick here, so it doesn't know that this has happened here. It looks here.
Well, yes, it will know, but now you're mixing in server-sided decisions and client-sided decisions. Like, you're not explaining tick, you're mixing in everything. These here should be the ticks, and then you're arguing, but they're not happening. Well, that's package loss, and that's the internet connection. It has nothing to do with ticks. And then you're saying, well, then this here doesn't happen, but this nothingness happens, and then he doesn't get aim punched or doesn't get the shot or whatever it is. Yeah, that's client-sided decisions versus server-sided decisions. The server is trying to predict what will happen, but if the client does a correction in regards to what the server says, well, the server needs to update because it was predicting wrong. Oh my god, dude.
It doesn't look here, so it doesn't think anything's happened here, but it updates here that this has happened, and because it knows this person got shot, it has to basically, instead of this stuff happening here, it's updated to happen here.
But you're saying this here should be the shot, this here should be the aim punch. Those are two different, completely different things. And now you're saying we're just taking this one and moving it over here? Like, what? So now the aim punch doesn't happen, but the shot does?
Like at the same time.
That's not how it works. You don't just overlap it. That's not... And this is why I'm saying Joe attempts to talk about it, but I've only watched 2 minutes of his explanation. I have pointed out so many flaws, so many incorrect arguments he's using, examples he's using, and he's still got 4.5, 5 minutes. Like, so if he's wrong, like, insanely amount of times here, imagine this entire thing, and it's just him talking for 8 minutes in total. No.
Oh look, he's got three games owned on a 1-year-old account, and he's also got...
Well, yes, that does seem sus, that the account is only 1 year old. However, you could argue that because of education, because of partying, because of that type of life, he didn't have time to be gaming. So 1 year ago, he sat down, started, and he also started his Twitch. So, well, there you have it.
The cat avatar as well, so this guy's probably cheated. He's got underscore.
Probably a cheater because he got a new account, cat avatar, and underscore. This is why you're a joke, Joe. Literally.
He's got all the cheater codes. He's got the underscore in his name. He's got the Twitch in his name. He's got the cat.
He got the Twitch in his name. So when he plays against or with random people, they can go to his stream. That's how you also was able to find this guy here. Because he's literally killing you. You're spectating him, as you can see down here. It says Mexi_DI Twitch. So you just need to look up this guy here on Twitch to find him. People does that in every single PvP game.
Avatar, he's got the account that's only got like one game on it, on a like hardly fucking.
Wait, so in less than 30 seconds, you forgot that he got 3 games on his account. Let's go back.
The cat avatar as well, so this guy's probably cheated. He's got underscore in his name. He's got all the cheater codes.
Where was it?
Oh look, he's got a three games owned on a 1-year-old account.
So 2214 is where you said 3 game owned, and
In his name, he's got all the cheater codes. He's got the underscore in his name. He's got the Twitch in his name. He's got the cat avatar. He's got the account that's only got like 1 game on it.
so that's 16 seconds later. You change from 3 games to 1 game. What?
On a like hardly fucking amount of time in it at all, man. So yeah, there you go. Like the profile there has all the bells and whistles of what.
No, it doesn't. It has all the bells and whistles that you demand must be. You also demanded people with VAC bans previously having been banned by Valve are still current cheaters. But funny enough, one of the people you're playing with are having a previous VAC ban. And lo and behold, you stopped using VAC bans as a argument for why they are still cheaters. I mean, it's okay to be cheater as long as you're a friend with Joe. Right? Isn't that the case? That's why you stopped using it. Because your friend is having a VAC ban. This video is already far too long, but there were so many details as to why Joe are wrong. And I just needed to point them all out. He cries about not having specific. Let's see where it is. Down here. For it to be evidence, you need specific examples with an actual explanation, reasoning that supports the claim. That is what I did. I took specific examples and gave reasonable, real arguments as to why this evidence of you being incorrect is the case. Yeah, but you're ignoring the facts of the video. No, I'm not. Just because you claim something in the video and then later says this is the truth does not magically mean it is the truth. This is reality, Joe. I don't give a fuck about your emotions. I'm not here to pander to your emotions. What I'm here to do is see whether or not you're right. And you are completely incorrect. This is I can do better. Proven that I could.